It's been more than 2.5 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. And although world attention has in large part moved on, for people enduring the unrelenting attacks there, the suffering continues daily. Crossroads Cares is committed to continuing to help. One of our partners on the ground joins me now with an update. Welcome, Chad.
Yeah, Cheryl, again, thanks for having me. I'm always hoping the next time we get to chat, it's one of victory and peace. But again, yes, 2.5 years in.
I know people in Ukraine are weary, and this has been such a tough week. Can you just give us a little bit of a sense about what's been happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's a culmination of just over time. It's every single day somebody is losing a husband from the war. And this past week has been quite difficult on civilians as rockets have touched down in educational facilities in different parts of the country, a hotel just a few days ago, and even in the western part of the country, where a father lost his entire family, his wife and 3 young girls. And that's just a representation of what people go through here, is they don't know when it's potentially going to be happening to them, where and when, as this was a relatively safe part of the country. And so it's very difficult on the morale of the people. And again, over 50 people had lost their lives on this strike in Poltava, and close to 200 people injured. It's just the accumulation of death over 2.5 years in. It's overwhelming, honestly. Like, I'm even struggling myself. You just feel numb all the time.
You know, I think sometimes the rest of the world gets hardened to that. You know, like, people die and they just become stats. They don't become people. Do people feel forgotten in a way, you know, that the world's moved on?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it's hard for people to know what's being shared outside of themselves, outside of the country, because it's in our face all day, every day here. And again, the attention, of course, is not what it was. And I would say the gratitude of what's been helped from the West, but it's also a frustration because in terms of weapons and supplies of weapons, it hasn't been enough to be able to actually win this war. So it's both sides. You're so grateful because without the help of the West, they wouldn't be here. Ukraine wouldn't be a country. And but on the other hand, we just haven't had enough to be able to actually win this war, which would stop the deaths of men and women here and children in this country.
And I know you have persisted. I know, you know, personally, it's been devastating for you and your team, and you are in danger. We have a clip right here that just shows a hypersonic missile touching down right near you. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, pistachio, please.
We're okay. We're okay. Yeah, that's why we're behind the building.
Talk to me about the danger you're facing and why you and your team are continuing to risk your lives to help people close to the front lines.
Oh, you can't. The suffering's so immense. To not go out and care for people who are living it daily, and to go and to encourage those who are the ones that are staying and have chosen to stay in those areas to serve the hundreds. The risk to me is you have to do it. Yeah, that was a scary event. That was simply going to church, to one of our partners' churches who serves so much, and there's just no time to react. And I was actually on the phone with my, I was actually on the phone with my daughter, who had called because the first rocket hit, and then she had called, and then the second one hit. So she was actually crying on the phone there. So it was a little bit emotional and difficult to process. But this is what people are choosing to live through, just to care for other people. And so for us to go out there, to me, it's not a choice. I have to do it.
You talked about, you know, you were visiting one of your pastors that served with you. A lot of these pastors are staying in very dangerous circumstances, and they don't leave. They don't go to a safer part of the country, and you support them. What do you do to support these brave pastors and their wives?
Yeah, when we recognize that there's this war is not ending soon, we saw, just like us, we're getting burnt out emotionally, spiritually. But yet so are those who are working near the front lines and serving the hundreds there. And so what we've done is that we've provided a home here to bring groups of individuals, so pastors and wives, to bring women and children of fallen soldiers, for them to be able to get rest and to be cared for so that they can go back into their communities and serve. And just most recently, we actually had a group of 31, which was quite a large group, but their pastor was one that this church was under occupation for 7 months. And during that time, he was taken and tortured by Russian soldiers. He was only found by his wife in the local hospital, and she couldn't even recognize him from the beating that he had taken, and was recovering there for a full month before there was a green corridor that opened. And so what they did is that they were able to flee through Russia into Belarus and then into Europe, where he continued to recover. He had many offers to go to many different Western countries to continue to live there, but he was so compelled to go back to Ukraine. And when his area of the country in the east was deoccupied, he went right back there to continue to serve. And he has such a large church that's serving people not just in their communities, but in the surrounding communities. Like I said, not even 31 is all of them. So it's just incredible to see the compelling, like how compelled people are to do what God has called them to do in amongst what they have suffered. It's incredibly motivational. And that's why we've got to continue to keep people encouraged and strengthened and rejuvenated. And that's why we provided a place in the West that's a lot safer for people to be rejuvenated and cared for.
And that's why Crossroads Cares is committed and will not move on and will not forget. And we're going to keep standing with you. And you guys are not alone. And so this is my challenge. Don't move on. Don't move on. You know, we are willing to do the work, but we can only do what God puts in our hands. So today, will you join us? You know, you just need to give. You can go online at crossroads.ca/Ukraine. The information is there. You can give there. You can pray. You can call the 1-800 line right now, 1-800-265-3100. And Chad, I want you to know that you are in our prayers, that your team is in our prayers, and we're not going to forget, and we're not going to stop supporting you. So thank you for staying and doing what you do.
Yeah, there's many times that you're feeling like you just can't do it anymore.
I know.
But when you have people coming through your door that are praying and thanking God that they can actually brush their teeth with water from the tap, or they can put fresh water on their face, or they're just crying when they first come through the door because they don't have to worry about their grandchildren that are with them, that they're going to be walking across a landmine or picking up some explosive device, it pushes you to continue to serve and to do that. So I thank you, listeners, for enabling us to be able to serve people in the way that we're doing it here and amongst the suffering of Ukrainian people.
It's our privilege to stand with you. Thanks so much, Chad.
Thanks.